I asked ChatGPT to come up with 10 anime questions to spark discussion. I'm playing the Attack on Titan tribute game while we talk about the saddest anime moments, favorite characters, crazy abilities, and more. Let's jump into ChatGPT's first question. So the first question is, who's your favorite all-time anime character and why? I want to say it's probably Moomin Rider. Mainly because despite being a normal person in a world of monsters and really strong heroes, he still strives to be a hero, despite being quote-unquote normal, all things considered, amongst a world of crazies. And despite him being quote-unquote normal, just a guy on his bike, he still strives to be the greatest hero he can be. I think one moment that sticks out to me when it comes to a Moomin Rider is definitely his fight against the Deep Sea King. Seeing him stand up to the Deep Sea King, who has taken down multiple S-class, A-class heroes as well as some B-class heroes as well. In comes Moomin Rider, the top hero from Class C. He knows he has no chance of taking down the Deep Sea King. The audience knows it, the civilians he's trying to save knows it. Despite that, he pushes on anyways. Because to him, it's not about winning or losing. It's about taking on the Deep Sea King right here and right now. And seeing someone just not give up in such a manner despite being severely outclassed, and someone who knows they're weak and knows that they're not good enough, seeing him stand up against the Deep Sea King in such a manner, or against some impossible odds, it's oddly really inspiring. And it makes me want to take his mindset and apply it. So yeah, in terms of the answer to that question, it's definitely Moomin Rider, one of my all-time favorites, I think. Like if I were to change my phone wallpaper at any point, I'd probably have Moomin Rider as the wallpaper. So for the next question, what anime world would you most want to live in? I think I would choose the Pokemon world. That's generally a safe bet, all things considered, I think. Because not only Pokemon will now exist, and who doesn't want to have Pokemon to exist, the world itself is actually pretty peaceful. Like, you could probably live your whole life without anything going bad at all. No wars, nothing. So I think Pokemon is generally a safe bet. In terms of what role I would have in the Pokemon world, honestly, just being normal just sounds like a pretty fun time. Oh yeah, and obviously I need to answer what kind of Pokemon I have. Definitely a Celebi. But I suppose with the rulings of the Pokemon world, I don't think I can have a Celebi. So that's most unfortunate. So I might have to go simple and just choose an Eevee and just be happy. And I don't really have a particular evolution I prefer. Actually, maybe Glaceon. I would like a Glaceon. Glaceon would be nice. Floatzel is also there too. So yeah, I think Pokemon Universe is a safe bet for that answer there. So, for next question is, which anime fight is the most unforgettable to you? I think I will mention a fight that has quote-unquote impacted me the most, because it's like the first time something happened for me, I guess. Or like a specific feeling happened. There was this one fight in Katekyo Hitman Reborn, where one of the enemies is hyped up as being this impossible to kill target. It's basically this massive robot these middle school kids are fighting against. And these are just regular middle school kids as well. They don't really have any powers or anything. Nothing special about them. And they have this impossible to destroy Iron Man suit to defeat or fight up against, to win against. And the matchup was one of the student council presidents, I think it was, Hibari. Oh, I need to kill this punk titan. Oh god. There we go. Perfect. Where was I? Oh yeah, Hibari. Yeah, he was matched up against this Golem Oscar. That's the name of this robot. This Iron Man suit. And the only weapon he has were metal tonfas. That's it. And I suppose he's just stronger than the average middle school student, I guess, being the student council president and whatnot. But yeah, he was lined up to fight against the Golem Oscar, and the characters were all hyping him up like he's impossible to defeat. The prototype with the self-destruct button, it has been removed for the final model, which was implied that it was going to be something that the Hibari could have took advantage of, but with it being removed in this model here, the hope diminished. But as the episode progressed and the lead up for the fight happened, and the battle between Golem Oscar and Hibari starts, it took no time at all for Hibari to punch a hole through the Golem Oscar. Just like that. And during that moment, I was like in awe, in shock, right then and there, like jaw dropped. Like I was expecting some form of fight, but I didn't expect it to end that quickly. That was a lot of fun when I first watched it, so I think in terms of which anime fight is the most unforgettable, it's definitely that one, because that was like the first for me. Like, I never really reacted that way in a fight before. So I think that moment definitely sticks out to me. I'm sure there are plenty of other fights as well that gave me similar feelings, but for now, it's definitely the fight between Hibari and the Golem Oscar. Okay, so the next question is, what anime has the best opening or ending theme? Oh, that is a tough one, because I don't really analyze anime openings in terms of like visuals and whatnot. I generally analyze them based on the feeling and the emotion, and if it's catchy or not. So I'm going to disregard like the visual element of the openings and just choose like maybe the vibes of the opening or ending. And off the top of my head, despite not me watching Shippuden, I want to say definitely Naruto Shippuden's opening 16, Silhouette. I know it gets memed a lot, but it's such a fun opening to listen to, and seeing it represented as such. Well, 1050, nice. Just makes the vibes for the openings really nice. Like a while back I saw a YouTube video where I think it's basically titled 20 Years of Anime, which is just a compilation of all the anime in the last 20 years from 2019, I think it was. Or from... oh, let me kill this Titan. There you go. Yeah, there's a video from 2019 that does a montage of the last 20 years of the most iconic anime during each year, from like Kino's Journey, Clannad, Gurren Lagann, Violet Evergarden, Naruto, Digimon, Assassination Classroom. Seeing all those anime represented in that video, and the actual music that was playing during that highlights or montage was actually Silhouette. Honestly, I think Silhouette represented that video really, really well and set the vibes of that video real nice in such a nostalgic manner. It felt like that music has been through an entire generation of anime, or represents the entire generation of anime, or the last 20 years. And that's me not having seen Naruto Shippuden as well. So yeah, I think in terms of the anime with the best opening, well, I want to say best opening song, one of the best opening songs, definitely Silhouette from Naruto. Now the next question is, which anime character do you relate to the most? Okay, I think we're going to be doing a bit of repeats here and there, but I'm going to say Moomin Rider. Mainly because of his indomitable will. That's something I can relate to the most, I think. He's the most grounded character, and I think he represents a whole load of people in real life, considering the fact that he's just a normal person in his world, and all things considered, like, everyone in this world is pretty normal as well, in the real world. So I think in terms of anime character I relate to the most, it's definitely Moon Rider. The fact that he never gives up, he knows that he's quote-unquote not good enough. No, he's too weak for Class C and whatnot. But despite that, he still tries anyways. Even if it means certain death. So yeah, I want to say Moon Rider for that question again. Now, for the next question is, what's the saddest anime moment you've ever seen? Okay, that's a whole... I don't know if I can pick a saddest. It's going to be difficult to choose just one. For that question, I think I want to say Violet Evergarden, episode 9. If you know, you know, but I'll probably explain anyways. So spoilers for that, or for Violet Evergarden. The scene where Violet Evergarden helps a mother write down letters for her daughter. The mother was very sick and like on her deathbed, and she knows that she won't be there for her daughter's life, if that makes sense. So she asks Violet to help her write letters for 50 years in advance, birthday letters. So even though the mother will definitely pass on and will definitely miss out on seeing her daughter grow up, she still prepares 50 letters to be sent to her daughter's birthday every single year, so that despite the mother not being there for her daughter's milestones, her daughter will still receive words or letters from her mother every birthday for the next 50 years. I probably explained it really terribly, but that moment in the Violet Evergarden was really pretty, really beautiful, I want to say. Yeah, I'm terrible at like explaining or summarizing even, but I just want to say, if you know, you know, really. There we go, that's all the Punk Titans dead. Alright, so the next question is, if you could have one anime ability, what would it be? Oh, if I could only have one. Thing is, like, most anime abilities are quite useless in real life if you're not in an actual battle. Like all the shonen abilities, like what am I going to do with Asta's swords from Black Clover, even? Or maybe Luffy's Devil Fruit, like who am I going to be fighting to make use of it? So I might have to choose an ability that is all about utility. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure what kind of abilities represent a good utility to have. Okay, now that I think about it, I think maybe this is going to be a bit of an obscure one, but maybe one of the abilities in Law of Ueki. Basically, the whole power system in Law of Ueki is... I'm probably saying it terribly, but basically the whole power system of Law of Ueki is basically characters can turn objects into other objects. So maybe someone can turn water into fire, towels to iron. In the main character's case, he can turn trash into trees. Now, I can't remember the ability or like the clear specifics of this ability that I'm thinking of, but it's from a side character, one of the villains that battles Ueki and the gang. But basically his ability is to turn models into real life, if that makes sense. I think having that kind of ability in... Oh no, bringing models to life. So you can bring like toys and all that. Usable lengths instead of just being a toy. So I think that kind of ability in real life would be quite overpowered. But there's multiple layers to it. Like, what equates to bringing something to real life? Like, if you had a action figure of Superman and you brought it to life, would it have the same abilities as the real Superman? That would be an interesting ability to have in that case. Because then you can just get a toy Omnitrix and then bring that to life, and all of a sudden you have all the powers of Ben 10. Easy. But yeah, I think the one anime ability I would have would probably be the ability to bring toys to life. I say toys just because just to keep it balanced, I think. Now, for the next question, which anime villain do I think is the best written? Okay, I think I'm gonna be a bit overrated and say Meruem from Hunter x Hunter. So spoilers alert in that regard if you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter. Basically, seeing how Meruem starts off as this violent being, but after meeting Komugi and playing Gungi with her, he starts to slowly become human as the anime progressed. And by the end of it, when he played that final game of Gungi with Komugi, I kind of really wished things turned out differently and he lived in the end. And if that's a sign that the character is well written, where at one point that you just don't really care for their well-being, and then after they develop, you just wish things turned out differently for them. Okay, so the next question is, what anime deserves a remake or a continuation? Definitely Hitman Reborn. Still left on quite the cliffhanger, and I've heard like great things following the events of the anime after it ended. And that'll be cool to see in animation. And also the fact that the actual anime itself is like paced terribly. Like there's a bunch of recaps in each episode, which lasted for like 10 minutes, and then there's also like recaps for the recaps, as well as full-on recap episodes, just to pad the episodes out. So having like a well-paced remake of Hitman Reborn instead of the one currently would be nice. Either a remake or continuation, definitely Hitman Reborn. Just to give it like a Hunter x Hunter remake or a FMA Brotherhood treatment. Why not? So yeah, that'd be my answer to that question. Hitman Reborn. Hitman Reborn. Okay, so for the next question is... this is going to be a tough one. If you could create your own anime, what would it be about? Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. So honestly, the anime that I would probably create is probably going to be a generic shonen to begin with, I guess. I haven't really thought of like story elements yet, but I did think about the power system involved. Basically, it is based off this syndrome called the Phantom Limb Syndrome, where people who get amputated can still feel their limbs despite it being, well, cut off. So I thought, why not turn that into a power system? Basically, in this world, there are ghosts who wreak havoc on humanity. Similar to the Infernos from Fire Force, almost. And the only way to fight against these ghosts is people with Phantom Limb Syndrome who has the ability to interact with ghosts because of the fact that they're missing their arm, which is then replaced with like a spectral arm or of some kind. So they're the ones who are able to battle against these ghosts. Now, I didn't really think far ahead of like specifics, whether they could like shoot fireballs or whatnot, or what specific abilities they are. All I know is that they would be able to interact with the ghosts somehow or another. But I just thought it would be interesting just to see a character with like a disability take the reins in a shonen setting. It'd be amusing to see like a villain where they're just a head, but the rest of their body is all spectral or ghostly. So that would be my brief idea of a power system. Hardly developed at all, or hardly thought about. But yeah, that is my brief idea on that one. But yeah, it looks like those are all the questions ChatGPT has for me now as well. So I'll make this the final wave here, and I'll call it a day there. Well, also let me know on your answers to any of these questions by ChatGPT here as well. So I'm curious to see what your thoughts and opinions are, especially on mine as well. Maybe I'm kind of washed with my takes and all that. So feel free to completely roast me in the comment section below. In any case, if you guys enjoyed the video there, be sure to hit like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.